Don't know what that is. Welcome, one and all. It is June 30th, 2025. This is the Practical IT channel, and I'm your host, Jeremy. And we're seeing through to the end of the month. No, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stream until midnight. Don't get your hopes up that high. I do have to work in the morning. But I did, since I didn't stream last night, I did want to come on tonight, at least briefly, and just chat for a few minutes. So let's see who all we've got here with us tonight. I see three people. We have Kevin from Lakeland, Florida. Welcome. And Grish is here as well. Good to have you both. I'm showing three people watching, so if you're out there watching, jump in the chat and say hi. It's been an interesting month. I've been fighting a lot at work with printer stuff, just weird issues where some of our public computers will work fine one day and the next day doesn't want to load up YouTube or some random site, which I attribute, or I'm going to point my finger at DNS first, but you know what they say, it's always DNS, right? So it's been a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of preparation for a project. We're getting outdoor book pickup lockers at the library. And it sounds like, oh yeah, they're just going to up and deliver next week. Apparently we're getting the electrical done on Monday and the lockers will show up on Tuesday. The project manager has been all radio silence on me. Sprung on me this piece of garbage software called Smartsheet. And it's a pile of sheet, all right. Let me tell you. I've seen better project management out of Excel, but that's a whole other story. Let's see. That's a warning for Joe not to get his hopes up. Exactly. Because I knew if he were here, he would try to push me to stream until midnight to hit the end of the month. Not gonna happen. We know Joe all too well, or I should say, we know
Joe Cephas
all too well. Hey David, welcome in. Try my best to be first, but oh well. More a-holes in the mix. Yeah. Oh, you mean project managers? Yes, they are. Not just that, but also 5 screwdrivers. 5 screwdrivers, a hammer, and a monkey wrench. Well, hey. I'm actually drinking non-alcoholic tonight. I bought a few of these because they had Starburst flavors. It's sparkling ice. Probably not going to focus worth a damn. But these are 5 calories for the whole bottle. And it actually does taste like strawberry Starburst. Surprise, surprise. I bought one of each Starburst flavor. They were 4 for $5. I thought, what the hell? I gotta satisfy my curiosity. And there's 0 sugar. I'll take it. Let's see. Hello, Nerd45. Welcome to the party tonight. All right. So, welcome to the short work week. Except for David, whose work is whatever the CFO tells him it is, I guess. So yeah, this week is going to be interesting. I've got to figure out how to get the network drop prepared for the lockers to be delivered next week, and try to make that all copacetic. So I'm going to probably need to make a hardware store run at some point and pick up a couple things to make the install work, and then I don't know. We'll get it figured out, right? Because it was never communicated to me when these doggone lockers were going to be installed, and with having Friday off and them doing electrical on Monday, I probably should have this done by Thursday, which will be interesting. Especially having to dodge rain showers and all this kind of fun crap. Yeah, like I said, David, it's whatever the CFO tells you it is. My CFO has been easy on me lately. Well, it's probably the calm before the storm, my friend. Probably the calm before the storm. Jim, KJ3N. Work is a 4-letter word. Yes, it is. I can think of a few more 4-letter words taken directly from George Carlin's list of the 7 deadly words you can't say on radio or television, but I'll spare you. Yeah. So this is one of those streams where I don't have anything explicitly planned, but I've got some ideas of things we could do. I did, and I can, I suppose. Let me check where I've got something stored here real quick. That is on. Oh, really? That's on local LVM. Whoops. So that's on local LVM. That's on local LVM. That's not where I want that, but okay. All right. So we'll do a little experiment, a little experimental demo. Something I've been working on for the fog demo. So we are going to attempt, and I'm not sure everything is 100% in place yet, but we're going to attempt to deploy a Windows called a Windows 11 Live. We are going to say do not use media. We're going to make this a Windows 11 deployment. We are going to add the TPM module. We're going to put that on VMs 1. We're going to add the EFI storage on VMs 1. We're going to put the main disk on VMs 1. And we're going to say, I don't know what we made this, say 85 gigs. I don't want it to be huge, but we'll make this 8 cores and 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, so this is VM Bridge 0, E1000 model network card, which should be fine. And we're going to say finish. And that's going to build our little VM here. Now, if all goes to plan, once this is done building, there we go. If all goes to plan, we can start this up, get to the boot menu. That's not exactly what oh, my bad. So there's a trick here. So Windows 11 is a little quirky when it comes to fog and Pixie booting, at least in my setup right now. So my trick is that I come in here and I change this from a UEFI system to a BIOS system. Then we boot from the network. We're going to do quick registration. And the great thing about quick registration is that when it's done, it'll let us directly deploy an image. And we'll see what we end up with when this is done, right? Win 11. Oops. Okay. I guess they don't want a name for it. So we go back into Pixie Boot a second time because it did a quick registration. And if all goes well, we should have the option here to deploy an image. We log into Fog. And we are going to deploy the Windows 11 sysprep, which is number 3. Okay, so as I started to say, the trick with this, because UEFI is not playing nice with the Pixie boot, so I change it to a BIOS system. I deploy the image, and then I change it back to UEFI, and then it should boot, right? So it's a little bit of a process, but it does get the job done, right? Now, keep in mind that, unless you have the volume license, whatever program they call it, you're technically not allowed to customize your image, which I really haven't. You're not allowed to customize the image without, paying the Microsoft tax. So this is for demonstration purposes. This is not anything that I'm going to keep around. It's basically to test a process and demonstrate it, and then it goes away. right? So anyway, now the part of this that may not be completely ready is, I think when I captured this image, I still had sysprep set to boot to audit mode instead of booting to out of box experience. So if we come in here and we change cBIOS back to UEFI and then go to start this up again, theoretically, we'll boot into Windows. I think this still goes to audit mode, but we'll see. I don't do this on a regular basis. I'm not a Windows guru. I can hold my own, but I don't consider myself a Windows guru. So the fact that I'm getting this far is kind of magic. So let's see. Quite familiar with George. I can only imagine what he would say about things going on now. Exactly. I would love to hear his thoughts. Okay, I held off for 13 minutes, but time for the OJ and vodka. I used to live on screwdrivers. It's very nice. I just picked up a 2-bay NAS for my in-laws. Ugreen loaded Proxmox on it, and will run. It will mostly run image to replace Google Photos after 2 terabytes. Their plans start to get expensive. Yeah. Did you get out to? Did you run out today? I refreshed my stock earlier this afternoon. Switched over to vodka martinis. Nice. Plenty to go around. Understand that. Things get old after a while. Since I retired, I don't remember what the 4-letter word work means anymore. I tend to stick to the beverage that worked best. All right. So we are starting. This is out of box experience. Let's see where it takes us. US. No. Checking for updates. Checking for updates. Well, we'll see what happens. Good things coming your way. Yeah, if you like an advertising platform disguised as an operating system. All right, just a moment. So, is it going to boot back in directly to the desktop now, or am I stuck in a boot loop? Time will tell, I suppose. Fine. I'm just going to kill the VM anyways. Demo 6. I don't know. One more time. So, the latest thing I've heard on the rumor mill is that Apple is working on a low cost or cost reduced MacBook. Not an Air, not a Pro, just a MacBook, or maybe a MacBook SE or something. Apparently, they are going to use either the A18 Pro or A19 Pro iPhone chip in this cost reduced MacBook. I think that'll be interesting to see. Not sure that I'm really going to be in the market for something like that, but I think it'll depend on the price point. If the rumor holds, they're saying $699, which I don't know. For $300 more, I think I'd rather have the MacBook Air, but I'll hold out complete judgment until after I've seen the thing and maybe see some early reviews on it. All right. And another reboot. Preparing automatic repair. Well, that didn't work quite the way I had anticipated. Got the TPM, got the EFI disk, switched it over to an EFI BIOS, UEFI BIOS. Okay, well, maybe I did something different this time. This is why I don't like demonstrating this sequence of windows. I don't know. I'm about ready to just not include any procedure at all for Windows in the fog video. And if people want that, they can hire me as a consultant and we'll get it figured out. Otherwise, they can figure it out on their own. All right, that did not work the way I had intended. So let's try. Let's do this. Let's go back here. Let's go back to the console. We'll image it. And we'll say deploy image. Win 11 sysprep. And we'll see. I think I know where I may have gone wrong. And that's probably something I did before I captured the image. But we'll figure it out. Maybe. So we'll let this go again. I guess I can just put myself on screen while we're waiting for that. You've seen it once. If you've seen it once, that's enough. Yep, data collection platform. I can't argue with that sentiment. I must be going through a phase today. Every lady I saw today looks really good. Please don't wrap me up to the CFO. Who remembers just the MacBook with the one USB-C port, fanless x86 CPU, and that butterfly keyboard that broke on all of them? I remember the previous MacBook, which was the ones that were available in white and black plastic. I didn't have one. My ex-fiance did. So yeah. So what I was trying to do is, in order to capture the image, because Proxmox, the UEFI BIOS in Proxmox does not play nice with fog. I switched it to BIOS, standard BIOS for imaging. Capture the image that way, deploy the image that way, and then theoretically, and I've done it once, it does actually work if I remember the full sequence. And I probably have notes that I should be referring to at this point. I think the trick is I need to go back into audit mode when the out-of-box experience starts. And I don't know. We'll mess with it a little bit. So anyway, that's the gist of it, is just to work around the funkiness that exists between the Proxmox UEFI BIOS and the fog Pixie Boot stuff, and the fact that they don't play well together. And as far as I can understand, this happens on physical Windows 11 hardware as well, and even some Windows 10 hardware. When I was teaching and we were doing the fog project to image the new laptops at the time, which were running Windows 10, there were hoops we had to jump through to get it to work, but we were able to image those 10 at a time, because I only had a single fog server. To do more than 10 at a time, I would have needed a storage server. Okay, so what is this? Control Shift Function F3, which gets us into audit mode. This logs us in as administrator. It has sysprep running. I suppose I should show the screen. And I think it's just the fact that I missed a step when I went to capture the image. I should have done this part before I captured the image, and then theoretically it would have booted into a full out-of-box experience the first time. So I don't know. We'll run through this here and see if it gets us where we want to be. If not, then I'll scrap it and maybe try it one more time before actually recording a video and ranting about it. Okay. We come here. We are set to enter out-of-box experience. Do we need to generalize at this point? I think we do, but okay, just for shits and grins, let's go ahead and do that. Because this is really just a stock Windows install from the ISO off the Microsoft site. It's, like I said, this is just for demonstration purposes. If you're doing this in some sort of professional environment, you would want a volume license agreement with Microsoft. I don't use these VMs for any real work. I use these only for demonstration purposes, and they usually get spun up and spun down within a few hours or days. of their initial creation. So I really don't worry too much about it. Now, if they want to tell me, no, you can't do this, then I will say, thanks very much. I will destroy all the VMs. I will destroy all the ISO images. Have a nice day. You won't ever hear from me again. I could live my life running just Mac OS and Linux and be very happy. For the few proprietary things I need to do, Mac OS works really well. And for anything else, including gaming, Linux is the direction I'm headed. And yeah, it is what it is. So if SysPrep ever decides to finish, then, you know, we'll see what happens when we boot up again. All right, so we have seven people watching. I'll bring myself on again real quick, and I'll throw this up. If you haven't done so already, please like the video. I would appreciate it. If you feel overly generous tonight, there's always super chats and super thanks and whatnot. You know, try to boost things at the end of the month, right? So with a little luck, this will actually work. I'm not going to hold my breath until I actually see it asking me for a username and all that fun crap. And I need my magic cheat command here at some point. Got it. Start ms dash that one. We'll see. Maybe this will play nice for us tonight. Maybe. I'm not holding my breath, but maybe. Look at that. Yeah, skip. Get focus. Do that. Okay, and then we got a desktop. With no taskbar. So I guess theoretically that all works, right? And so now the first thing I would normally do on a new Windows system is run the Chris Titus Windows utility and clean out all the Microsoft garbage and put Firefox or Chromium on it and some other things that I would normally use. right? Turn off all their widgets, turn off all this baloney that they feel the need to include. So just to make sure, let's shut it down, and then we'll see if it comes all the way back up, because I didn't put in a password, so it should just boot to the desktop. But we might actually have a reproducible procedure about figured out, right? There are probably other ways to do this. I can almost guarantee there are other ways to do this, probably more streamlined than what this is. But if you have the need to use fog because of budgetary constraints, or because you're an open source junkie and don't want to pay for other products that are out there that will do similar things, or you don't want to pay for the services when you buy computers to have them all rejoined to your, or set to join your Active Directory instance, or Azure Active Directory, or Intra ID, whatever the hell they're calling it this week, then, you know, more power to you. So I do not use an answer file because I don't get that far into Windows. Yeah, now it's complaining again. So I'm just going to scrap this and call it a day, because I really don't care. And if people need Windows that bad, they can hire a consultant. And I'm not going to humor their shenanigans in demanding it on my channel. So that one goes away, and this one goes away. And this one goes away, because I've had all I can take of Windows. As I've said before, I have to deal with Windows at work, and doing it on my time outside work is not a high priority for me. Now, if people want to hire me, I will put my rate up high enough that they may not want to hire me. I'm glad to spend more time on it if I'm getting paid for it. But for all intents and purposes, for the freeloaders that come to the channel and just want to demand that I do this or that related to fog, pound dirt. Because it ain't gonna happen, and that's that. So the closest I've got to doing an answer file for SysPrep is doing it through the Chris Titus Windows utility, and his utility will actually let you generate that in the background and create a custom ISO image. Again, I'm not sure about the legality of all that unless you've got a volume license agreement set up. And I'm not a lawyer, so do your own research on that. As long as I'm staying on the good side of the juggernaut in Redmond, doing my little videos here and there, I'm not going to say too much more about it. But I don't particularly enjoy working with Windows. It's a means to an end. It gets me a paycheck, but as far as doing a bunch of free work on the side, I'm over it. So that's that. Now, I suppose what I could do is if I can figure the process out, I could make a very short course on using fog with Windows and paywall it. And if they really want it that badly, then they'll buy the course. Otherwise, they can figure it out on their own. I'm at the point, I'm trying to be true to myself, and the problem in all this isn't really, it doesn't come down to being a fog problem. It's a problem with Windows. And I'm not the expert on that. I can stand up a fog server almost in my sleep and make it work with multiple different types of networking equipment. The issue is the whole procedure to get Windows sys prepped and then get it to deploy properly. And that's where my issue seems to be right now. And I've tried before to figure this out, and I didn't get any better results in any previous attempts. Thus, the reason I have not delved into that in a recorded video. Now, on live streams, yes, I'll dabble with this. I will try to attempt to demo. But hey, if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. And that's just the way it is. The computers I've got at the library, they number less than 30. And if I had to, the only ones that I'm having problems with are the public computers. And if I had to take one of those down for an extended period, rebuild it, there are some extra hoops I have to jump through, because first I've got to take CrowdStrike off before I can use any of the built-in Windows utilities. Actually, I take that back. First, I've got to thaw it from deep freeze. I've got to remove deep freeze. I've got to remove our PC reservation software, remove CrowdStrike. Then I can do a reset on Windows, get me back to square one, and then go through the customization process from there, get all the printer stuff installed and tested, and then add the rest of the stuff back on. Now, I do have a fairly good size upgrade that I need to do over this summer, and I'm hoping to do it later in July. The next 2 weekends, I'm not going to be available, because this weekend is 4th of July weekend. The following weekend, I'm taking off to Illinois. So potentially the weekend after that, I will be able to, not work on a Monday, but then go in on a Saturday for the better part of a Saturday, because our PC reservation software needs to be upgraded. But in order to do the update, I have to remove it from all the computers, including the control computer, and then reinstall it on all of them at the new version. There's also an upgrade for deep freeze available, which may or may not get rolled out the same day. I don't really like doing both on the same day because it usually leads to headaches that I don't need. So, yes, Chris Titus, the YouTuber, not Chris Titus, the comedian. There is a difference. I like the answer file method. How's the heat been out your way? I thought we were gonna melt a chiller last week. Last week was awful. Today we got some rain and then the humidity dropped, and it wasn't too bad when I got out of work. Tomorrow I think it's going to hit 80, and I think it's supposed to get back up into the 90s over the weekend, but I haven't really looked at an extended forecast yet. I'm planning on just staying at home, minding my own business, maybe doing a live stream on Friday night. Might only be for members. I haven't decided yet. Speaking of live streams, Wednesday night, I cleared my initial plan because TVJ wasn't available to stream tonight or tomorrow night. So he's going to do Wednesday. I may do another stream tomorrow night. I haven't decided. I may take tomorrow night and work on a long form video, or maybe more than one long form video. But that's sort of the plan at this point. I am hoping to ramp back up the amount of content I get out in July. June was not a great month as far as content. It wasn't a great month as far as revenue. The only place where it really shined was the number of new subscribers that I added, which is great. But at least between May and June, I'm going to get paid in July. So I guess I've got that going for me. Unfortunately, I won't get paid until the week after I've gone to Illinois. So, you know, I guess that's not the worst thing in the world, but I will make it through the trip without a problem. It's nice to have a friend that takes the approach that you're paying for gas to come out here and visit, and he typically covers meals and booze. And it's like, okay, I'll let you. I have no problems with that. I thank him every time I'm out there for that. There was a good long while that he was doing that, and it made me really uncomfortable. And after wrestling with that whole idea in my own head and actually talking to him about it, I've come to the conclusion, if that's what he wants to do and it makes him feel good about doing it, I will thank him and I will move on with my life. I'm not going to beat myself up about it anymore. So I agree. I like the answer file. I have a sysprep image that will work on any hardware. It fires up on Lenovo, Dell, HP, etc. Yeah. Yeah. So my goal was just to get something that would fire up reliably on Proxmox. So basically it was just, I think the only thing I added as far as drivers to it was the driver for the VirtIO disk, and I'm not sure if I added the rest of the VirtIO stuff or not. But I don't know. I don't do enough deploying of Windows to really get that into it. Now, if somebody wants to volunteer and come on and do a joint stream that knows Windows a little better, we can certainly set up something, whether it's with Tailscale or NetBird or Zero Tier, and I would happily set up and, get you access to one of my Proxmox machines for the duration of the demo to get this all set up and working. But I've wasted a lot of time on this Windows endeavor, and it's got me really nowhere. So am I going to continue working on it? Not in the short term, no. I never installed the VirtIO drivers for Proxmox. Interesting. How do you get Windows to recognize that there's a disk if you don't install the VirtIO drivers for Proxmox? Are you using some other type of disk, or what's your strategy there, Chris? I'd love to know. Because in all honesty, for what I do, what little I do with Windows, what was that? I could just as easily, and it makes me nervous that they haven't updated it since 2023. I admit that's why I haven't done more with this. But iVentoy is one of several options out there. This will give you the ability to stand up just an iPixie server with multiple ISO images that you can select from a menu. And just, you do your semi-custom Windows ISO through like MicroWin from the Chris Titus utility, and then you can deploy it to whatever the heck you want. Because the MicroWin portion of the Windows utility allows you to add drivers. Adding the VirtIO drivers for Proxmox is a checkbox. No dealing with answer files. It abstracts that all away. But I have set up iVentoy before. And if all you want to do is be able to boot from multiple ISO images, it's great. It does one thing and it does it well. It kind of sticks to the Unix philosophy in that regard, right? But like I said, it does make me nervous that the last update was September of 2023. And, we're not that far from September 2025. It's well, actually I take that back. The front page of their site says 2023. The actual download page says April 2024. And apparently there is a Pro edition. I don't know if that gets more upgrades or not, but I don't know if I'd want to pay $49 for it only to find out that it's still almost 2 years old. Or a year and a half old anyways. But anyways, iPixie did work well. Has a nice little GUI configuration, web GUI configuration, where you can set up your different disks or different ISO images and all that kind of stuff. And you know, it's a nice little utility. So, in all honesty, since I'm not really on the bandwagon of doing, golden images with a bunch of software pre-installed for Windows. I kind of like the iVentoy approach. You take a standard ISO image, you deploy it, and then you use another configuration tool to deploy software afterwards. For Windows, what's the name of that? I don't know. Winstall. So you could deploy a bog standard Windows install. I don't know why this is taking this long to load tonight. And then you come over to Winstall and select the apps you want to install. And it even lets you select the flag to install it system-wide instead of a per user install. And you run it as a batch file or a PowerShell file script, and you get your stuff installed. So you come in here. You go to apps, say we want Firefox, find Firefox in English. Anyways, let's say we want Chromium. Chromium, winget install id blah 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 dot chromium -e, and we can say select app. And if we go to generate script, it gives you some additional options. If we go to advanced options, you can say machine wide, request interactive installation, request silent installation, so -h, override arguments, blah, 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 log location if you want to do that. And it gives you the full winget line there. It will also let you do PowerShell, or you could do the winget import, and it'll generate you a JSON file so you can do that. The other option that you've got is you do a bog standard install, and then you get it added into action 1. Every flipping time. And you add your endpoint in here, and then you can start deploying software from their software repository. And you know, it's as easy as selecting your software and saying deploy to endpoints, and you select your endpoints, and you know, you kick off the install. So anyway, obviously for my lab systems, I've not been too good about keeping up on this, but it's all right. Some of these are client systems that I will be removing from my Action 1, and apparently they want to update their own shit. So I'll let them. That one is going to get declined. I don't do preview updates. Everything else is fine. So anyway, I've got my own sort of procedure for doing things. Again, I pay a lot more attention to how I do update approval at work than I do at home. I keep this a little more loose than at work. But I have been testing out the deployment of some of the updates to my Mac OS system as well. And I'm very interested to see what kind of functionality their Linux piece is going to have when that launches, hopefully in the fall. If I have been following their alleged release schedule again. I think it was originally supposed to be out last fall, but Mac OS took longer than they had anticipated. Hopefully there will be some code that can be reused between Mac OS and Linux, and it won't be quite as difficult to develop the Linux piece from scratch, but you never know. I have to take a look what I set it to, but for servers or workstations, it's not installed for my Proxmox. Interesting. Do you guys know how to fix TFTP issue from server using fog? What issue are you having? I don't know if I can fix it unless I know what the issue is. But welcome to the party tonight, Dominican Geek. Glad to have you here. Thing with software updates, if it's feature complete, does it really matter? Steve Gibson has some feature complete little programs that will never receive any more updates unless compatibility. Yeah. Speaking of Steve Gibson, I was just using his DNS server tool today, which hasn't been updated in probably a decade. And apparently there's a 2.0 version coming sometime. So yeah. Let me pop back here for a minute and maybe I can Okay, just for the sake of argument, this is all I'm setting as far as firewall stuff. Under LAN, this is OpenSense. Under LAN, ISC DHCP version 4. You scroll down to network booting. You've got to enable it. You supply the IP address of the server. And you've got the default BIOS file name, which is the ipixie.kkpxe. You've got the 32-bit UEFI and the 64-bit UEFI, which in this case they've got, I've got it currently listed as SNP only.EFI. Now, if you look at the FOG documentation, that's not what I wanted to do. What is that? Wiki. Okay. Let's search for network booting. And they should. Not Wikipedia. .kpxe. File name information. Okay. So this is the information. And they explain when to use these, sort of. So the .kpxe, keep underlying UNDI driver loaded. At least 1K is required when trying to use underlying UNDI driver instead of native driver. So intel.pxe. 2Ks, keep the underlying driver and PXE base code loaded. At least 2Ks are required if you have BIOS bugs that prevent you from booting the next device via int 18. And then 3Ks provide PXENV file exit hook API required when building IPXE Linux .0, blah, blah, blah. And then the EFI files. Used for UEFI-based network booting. Generally, only newer systems support this. Well, we are well past 2015. So, yeah. That kind of gives you the rundown. And this other section doesn't have a whole lot of interest. Anyway. And it's possible that the issue with booting with the UEFI is needing to substitute a different file name. Fine, that's a possible solution as well. And if that were to work, then well, fine, it would be helpful. I have not tested this on like any of my mini PC systems, the B-Link systems. That might be an interesting experiment. I mean, I suppose. Comment, no, GLI. What is that? 172, 1674, 222, maybe. I don't know as though I've got enough disk space available to do this. I mean, we could. We could try. I think it's F7. Okay. Just for grins. So this is doing perform full registration. It doesn't look like it's happy. Error aborting method. V-Link. Win 11. I need to go to fog first. I need to make a new image. We'll jack up the compression. Okay, so now we need to go back to image 4. No, 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 no. No. So it's going to restart the system. And it should just boot into Windows. And we need to go back to fog. And we need to do hosts, list all hosts, and we need to do a capture task. Schedule was shut down. Got a task created. And we might just fit it on here with the compression. We'll try this. And hey, we might actually capture the image from the B-link. Now, this would at most be a backup image and not something you'd deploy to any other machine, but and as far as that goes, I would probably just use RescueZilla for that or CloneZilla, but you know, it could work, right? It could work. So if we jump back to our fog machine, we can see that there's some activity here. And it's doing what it's doing. Let's see. There's a DOH version coming, I think, or it should be already be here. Interesting. I was just on the website today and it wasn't showing as the new version being available. So maybe it's coming real soon now, but I couldn't find it yet. Hey, have a good night, David. Yeah, I don't have anything VLAN off on my current network, which is something I'm looking to remedy this summer, but the 6-day power outage in May really kind of threw me for a loop, and I'm still trying to completely recover from that in terms of buying staple foods that I would keep in the freezer and things of that nature, because I lost everything in the refrigerator and freezer in that 6 days. So it's been an interesting month, let's say. So let's see. Yeah, it's a slow disk in that B-link, and it's going to take a minute. It is what it is. I'm not sure why it's bottlenecked this far, but all things I'm going to hopefully be addressing in over the course of the summer. But hey, it's all good. Let's see. Tasks. So, anyways, well, the other key here is that I cranked up the compression on it as well, which is going to increase the time that it's going to take to do this. Yeah, it is connected at gigabit. Part clone still reads all the zeros, so it does have to read the entire drive from what I understand. Yep. Between having to read the whole drive and the higher rate of compression I put on this, that is going to together make it take longer, which, it is what it is. I don't think we'll still be live when it finishes, but it's a nice exercise. I guess you could say. But anyway, just wanted to go live tonight since Wednesday is going to be TVJ's night. And I may or may not be live again tomorrow night. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in when I get home from work. But yeah, overall things are going all right. I did, just to switch gears here for a minute, I did figure out something, because I've also got this installed at work. And yeah, so I got to run this update, I suppose. What do I got to do? Quit to. So anyways, this lets me start writing Okay, so cool thing with Audiate is I can say done scripting, and then I can go to generate, and I can select a native language, say default, which is going to be English. I can select a voice, which is Andrew, but I'm going to make him go faster. And we're going to say add avatar. And we're going to make this person Caucasian. And Cooper looks like somebody I just want to smack. So we're going to choose David. And we're going to say generate avatar. And there's a reason I made this only 2 sentences, because it's not going to take very long to generate this, right? So what I can do with this is, if I don't want to appear on screen, I can either take my own voice, clean up all the hesitations and pauses and whatnot, but then I can generate an avatar to go with it, and I don't have to appear on camera if I don't feel like it. So now we've got.
In this video, we're going to look at how to register machines in FOD, capture an image, and deploy it to a single or multiple machines. With a little luck, we will get through all of this in under an hour.
And just like that, I can take this, I can put it into my editor, and I can use it as the intro for the video. So I don't know. I may experiment with this a little bit, or at least use it for some pieces of the video where I'm speeding it up and I want to not necessarily record new video to go with the sped up portion of the screen capture part. But this is likely going to get included in some future video at some point in time. Maybe I'll use it for teaser videos for upcoming live streams. That could be entertaining to a degree, but it's all about using the tools you've got at your disposal. This is a fun tool. So anyway, so this is going to be going for a while, but in any event, that's that for my live stream tonight. I think this is a good place to stop. We've been live for almost an hour and a half, and it's all good. I'm not terribly worried about it. I just wanted to get one more out for the month, a month where my content count is low in the grand scheme of things. So I think for the month, where's my tracker? So I got 18 videos out between live streams, shorts, and long form. And if you count the posts that I've made, that only brings the total pieces of content up to 37. Now, in contrast, in May, I put out 83 pieces of content. Shorts, videos, live, and posts. Not all that was videos. So, in fact, 35 of those were posts last month. July will be better. Maybe not 83, but I'm hoping to at least hit 50. And, I will probably spend a chunk of my weekend coming up recording shorts and getting those scheduled. Because that way, if I've at least got shorts scheduled, I don't feel as bad about not getting quite as many long forms out. And it can be complementary to the live streams, I guess. So, hey Alonzo, you're once again joining us just as we're starting to wind down for the evening. We've just hit 90 minutes. I need to do at least one load of laundry tonight to get me through the rest of the week. And so my goal was to do 90 minutes here tonight, and then go watch a little TV while I have things in the washer. So
Well, look what the cat dragged in. It's Josephus.
Josephus, I went live 90 minutes ago. Did not log into YouTube. Yeah, well, we're coming up on the end of my energy tonight. And ironically, we just topped out at 10 people watching. So yeah, I didn't even start this until 20 after 9. So you know, it's 10:48, 10:49 right now. So yeah, I'm hoping that over the summer the remainder of the summer I can get some more equipment moved around. I want to do the switch over to the GrandStream equipment for my main firewall, because I also want to use the PBX functionality in that, which may open up some interesting possibilities for future videos, right? So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. I purchased a GrandStream UCM 6301 and a phone. Nice. Haley, welcome in. Yep, number 11. We got up to number 11 tonight. 10 people watching, might as well go another 30 minutes. Okay, well, there's one caveat to going another 30 minutes, and I at least need to jump up and start my load of laundry, and then we can continue forward. But if people want to hang out for a minute while I go do that, I can go another 30, right? Yes, and now we've got Haley with us tonight. 30 more minutes. Thank you for the super chat,
Josephus.
All right, so I will put up the intermission screen. I will put up the chat window so you can all talk amongst yourselves. And I will put my music on loop. And I will be back just as soon as I get this load of laundry started. I'll see you in a couple minutes. All right. Yeah, looks like we lost 4 people, but my original plan was to quit after 90 minutes. But hey, here we are. We'll go for another 30. So we'll hit like 2 hours and 8 minutes since we're at an hour and 38 right now. That way we can compensate for the couple minutes I was gone during the intermission so I could start laundry. And if you're curious what I'm drinking tonight, this is sparkling ice Starburst strawberry. The whole bottle has 5 calories. I'll take it. Okay, so I'll make a tequila sunrise while you do that. That's fair. All right, let's turn this back off. Oop. Well, that I didn't intend on. Anyways. Let's see. Says 9 here. Says 9 what here? Oh, yeah. People. 5. Yeah. We dropped a little bit. Haley says she loves that drink. Yes, I bought one each of the Starburst flavors today because this was the first I had seen them in the store. And since there's 0 sugar with vitamins and antioxidants and only 5 calories for a whole bottle, I don't mind it. Gives me the little bit of fizz that I want, and it's not pop. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So anyways, the fog image capture for the B-Link system is still going. That system, since it's running Windows 11, it is booted through UEFI. It's got secure boot turned on and all that Microsoft crap that they arbitrarily insist on in the hopes that they'll convince the unwashed miscreants out there that it's more secure. When they start having all these security issues with secure boot and UEFI, it makes me really question the whole thing. But hey, it is what it is, right? So yeah. For anybody that missed, the reason this is taking as long as it is because it is not on a separate VLAN, which would be ideal for doing fog imaging. Having it on a separate VLAN would be ideal. I also cranked up the compression ratio because my free space was smaller than the size of the disk on the machine. So in order to get this to fit and not crash my fog server, I cranked up the compression to compensate. Have a good night, Grish. Thanks for stopping in. So, anyway.
Hey, Josephus.
Were you here when I fired up Audiate? This is just 2 sentences that I typed in live, and it created an avatar for me.
In this video, we're going to look at how to register machines in FOG, capture an image, and deploy it to a single or multiple machines. With a little luck, we will get through all of this in under an hour.
So, you know, I think this could be useful for a FOG video. I'm not sure what I'll use it for exactly. Let's see, edit. So what I'm not sure of is once I've done the initial generation of the avatar, show hide waveform editor, enter scripting mode. Okay, so I hit tab. Okay, so I've added 2 additional sentences. I can say done scripting, generating speech from text, and
in this video, we're going to look at how to register machines in FOG, capture an image, and deploy it to a single or multiple machines. With a little luck, we will get through all of this in under an hour. This video will cover the capture of an image from a VM running Linux Mint, since it incorporates a functionality similar to sysprep on a Windows system. Ultimately, we will be able to deploy the image to multiple machines.
so, I mean, so there's a 4-sentence lead in or hook, I guess, if you want to use YouTube terminology. Now, I've got the option of changing the speed. I can change the pitch. And then I could say generate audio, and it'll regenerate it.
In this video, we're going to look at how to register machines in FOG, capture an image.
Yeah, I don't like that as well. So we're going to do generate audio. We're going to bring the pitch down and say generate audio.
In this video, we are going to look at how to register machines in FOG, capture an image, and deploy it to a single or multiple machines. With a little luck, we will get through all of this in under an hour. This video will cover the capture of an image from a VM running Linux Mint, since it incorporates a functionality similar to sysprep on a Windows system. Ultimately, we will be able to deploy the image to multiple machines.
So not awful. But again, they've got, we could select a new avatar. We could change it to Devin. And we could say generate avatar. And this is going to take 3 minutes to do 4 sentences, right? But that's fine. You know, it is what it is. Now, this type of thing is what is likely going to lead me in the next year to buying an M4 or an M5 Mac Mini, because the process will be a whole lot faster. And you know, it's I feel like this M1 still has a lot of life left into it. It'll probably still get Mac OS 27 next year, but after that, it will probably go to, just security updates and not feature updates.
In this video, we are going to look at how to register machines in fog, capture an image, and deploy it to a single or multiple machine.
Anyway, you get the idea here. So once we've got this set, we'll have to save it. So we'll just say fog demo. We'll save that. And then if we do export, we can export it to Camtasia. And we can say export to timeline. Allow. Allow. And it should launch Camtasia here. And with a little luck, did not add it to the timeline. So there are a few little quirks I've got to work out, but this is making things a whole lot more fun for me. I'm learning new things, and that's the fun part, right? But see, what would really be fun is if we record Hey Josephus and we put it in different avatars. Oh, I could have a whole lot of fun with this. Anyway. Let's see. I have to say, back in school in your 60s is rough. Reading the course material online is awful. Yeah, I'm glad I knocked out my master's, well, my bachelor's and my master's degree in my 30s. As the idea of going back to school now does not sound really entertaining. Although if I had a wealthy beneficiary, then I would consider going back for a PhD, but I'm not sure what I would do the PhD in. What I would probably do is go into an MBA program and go from there. But okay, so let's do export to Camtasia, and we'll go to media bin this time, and maybe it'll work. Okay, now let's look at media bin. It's not there either. Let's do check for updates. Check automatically. About Camtasia 2025.1.2. I swear there was an update for Camtasia today, or in the last few days. Anyway, this is fun. This is something that you may or may not see in future videos, right? It even has, and this is a beta feature, but you can use AI to generate a script. Create, rewrite, summarize. Type is training. Informational explainer. Type is enthusiastic. sure. I guess this could be interesting. Not sure how I want to use this yet, but have a good night, Jay. So we've got a few more minutes left to go. We're dwindling down to 3 people watching now, which normally I would just cut things off at this point. Once it gets under 5, once I've been going for more than an hour, approaching 2 hours, if it's under 5 people watching, then I just kind of lose steam. Let's see what this comes up with. Let's say override. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? It's beta, right? All right.
In this video, we will dive into the features, benefits, and the overall impact of the FOG project on educational institutions. So, how does FOG actually work? At its core, FOG utilizes a client-server architecture, where the server manages the imaging process and the clients are the individual PCs that receive the images. Administrators can...
That's interesting. We gotta do this. So this is cool because we could also say we want to do, I don't know, we'll do Carlos for the first section. Okay, this might take a minute, yeah, but the idea here is that you could have multiple avatars in different voices talking through different sections of the script, which this is kind of mind-blowing to me because I'm just one guy making these videos, and if I can actually do this and, hopefully not piss off the audience in the process, I mean, I think it would be fun, but but yeah, you can actually have it do multiple different avatars, and have them talk back and forth between each other, doing different sections of the video, right? So, I think it's all right. Oh, we're up to 4. We're up to 4. Somebody joined us or rejoined us or something. So we'll give that a few minutes to do its thing. So, what else is new? Anything? My deck still isn't finished. But I did get, I don't know, let's see. I'm still not using any swaps, surprisingly. I did get the beta version of Steam for Apple Silicon installed. And of course, it wants to do an update while I'm doing everything else tonight. There it goes. Oh, look, there's a summer sale. Farming Simulator 25. Great. Oh, they've got Zero Wing. Okay, sorry about that. That might actually go on my wish list. Let's see. Zero Wing. Will that play on Apple Silicon? That is the question. Is this game relevant to you? Similar games you've played. Vampire Survivors. Hey, well, go figure. User reviews are positive. Already on your wish list. Let's see. Will it work on macOS? It does work on macOS. And it requires a whopping 256 megs of RAM and 10 megs of online available hard drive space. Well, that might just be a no-brainer. My arcade shoot 'em up ultimate collection. Well, that could be fun. Truxton, Twin Cobra, Outzone, Tiger Healy, Slap Fight, Flying Shark. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do there. I hadn't really intended on buying games, but that's awful tempting. Nordic Ashes. Ooh. More Vampire Survivors stuff. Emergency Meeting. That might make my weekend more exciting for $2. Anyway, yeah, so I actually did start playing a little bit more Vampire Survivors. Last played on the 27th. So it's been a few days. It's just a fun way to kill off a little steam, right? Okay, so what do we got here? We've got... Oh, I guess I need to turn the audio back on for this.
Is a powerful imaging solution designed to streamline the process of deploying operating systems.
Well, that's not going to work for Carlos. So we'll regenerate that. Why it didn't, I don't know. Anyway, this does take a little bit of time to get it right. And, I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to go with this particular script or anything, but, it's one of those things where I might actually write out a script and kick it through the AI, but whatever. It's all good, and it's one of those ways that I can make my channel mine and do some fun things with it once in a while, just to get the experience doing it, right? So anyway, let's see. I saw the German the other day. Yeah, I remember doing that. That was kind of fun. I have to say, saw that one. Jay left. Someone forgot about us. Have a good night, Alonzo. No, I'm here. I don't know. Anyway, that's that, I guess. So, all right. So now we've got that done for this part of this script.
Welcome to our exciting exploration of the fog project.
Okay, so that works there. So if we come down here and make this one, we'll do, I don't know, we'll do Thomas, and we'll do generate avatar. See how long that takes. So yeah, this is kind of fun. So that's the longer section of the video. So that's going to take 12 minutes. And I think we'll call it there. And maybe I'll put this segment up on the members side for people to take a look at, just to talk amongst themselves about and give some feedback. But in any event, thank you all for being here tonight. This has been fun. I survived my dealings with Windows. Didn't go quite as anticipated, but that's that. And I'm not going to beat myself up over that, because, you know, I'm never going to make everybody happy when it comes to how I approach the videos. Either somebody's going to complain about Proxmox because they don't understand what Proxmox is, or, you know, they're going to want me to talk about this or that particular hardware, which I don't own. And, you know, it's just one of those things. That I can't do everything, and I can't make everybody happy. And, you know, if there is enough of a market for people to actually contract me to do work on fog for them, or with them, preferably, then I would probably dive into the problem deeper than what I've been doing. You know, I would try to make some sort of arrangements to get access to other hardware, so that, you know, it could be a more real life demonstration rather than just using virtual machines or my odd B-Link. But, you know, that's all right. Speaking of the B-Link, hey, it finished. Just for grins, let's jump back over here. I can turn this back on. And it should just boot right back into Windows, because we didn't do anything with the sysprep or anything like that on this. So that should boot up just fine. And it did. right? So then if we come over here to fog, we can see that that's all stopped. And if we go under images and list all, we'll see that the B-Link image is 119.24 gigabytes. Oh, size on client. Let's see. Let's go in here and see if it'll tell us the size of the actual captured disk. And I don't see that. Info. Well, in any event, that did capture. And yeah. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure I want to do it, but I suppose I could. Somewhere on here is, let's see, we got reports there, active tasks. So somewhere there is snap in client. Nope, that's not what I want. Well, I may play with this some more. I guess there are other ways I could potentially demonstrate some of this. But in any event, we did get some things done tonight, and I'm satisfied with where things are going, right? Yeah, I think it's kind of fun myself. Oh, I guess that finished. So if we come up here.
Welcome to our exciting exploration of the FOG project. FOG, which stands for Free and Open Ghost, is a powerful imaging solution designed to streamline the process of deploying operating systems across multiple computers. This project is particularly popular in educational environments, where managing a large number of PCs can be a daunting task. With FOG, schools and universities can efficiently clone and deploy images to their machines, ensuring that every student has access to the same software and resources. In this video, we will dive into the features, benefits, and the overall impact of the FOG project on educational institutions. So, how does FOG actually work?
No.
At its core, FOG utilizes...
Well, that didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, so it did not switch the voice. So let's switch that to Andrew, and we'll regenerate the audio for that, which is probably going to take longer than we want to be here. I will maybe upload this. Oh, is that going to be done already?
So, how does FOG actually work? At its core, FOG
Anyways, I may dump this into Camtasia, generate just a very quick video, and throw it up on YouTube for members as the first member video of July, and see what feedback people might have for me. Yep, I'm back. Did the video cut out or something? I've been here. I've seen the preview, but that's what I'm wondering as well, Joe. That's why I'm going to put it up as a members video and see what the members think first, and then I will sparingly use it in other videos. How about some video of your home lab? I've thought about that, but I need to do some cleanup on the different places in the building where my lab is located, because it's not all in one place. I got a black screen. Interesting. Okay. I haven't seen the black screen on my preview side of things, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Hopefully when the whole video gets uploaded to YouTube, it'll be all right. But StreamYard does have its glitches from time to time. So, and maybe it's that I'm overstressing the computer. I am now using 93 megabytes of swap memory, so probably doesn't like the fact that I'm running Audiate on here. So I'm going to save this and close Audiate. And maybe things will recover just a little bit. But in any event, we've been live for 2 hours and 14 minutes. We are down to 4 people watching. And to the 4 of you who are left, I say thank you. I appreciate you being here and sticking it out tonight. And hopefully, I don't know if I'll be live again tomorrow night or if I'll wait until potentially Friday night. The issue with Friday, of course, is all the fireworks that my neighbors will be setting off for half the doggone night. And let's just say it gets a little annoying. So no, Audiate. Audiate. I don't know where you're getting Audinate from, but Audiate. All right. On that note, have a good night, everybody. I'm going to get this load of laundry, this load of jeans in the dryer, and probably call it a night, and then maybe get up and do a short before I go to work tomorrow. So I will catch y'all later.